Okay, I've been trying to script this vlog because it's something that really is getting to me right now. But I think it's just one of those vlogs where I've just got to turn the microphone on, which is what I've done, and just go for it. So I want to talk about all channels being put under scrutiny for the sake of paranormal research and investigation. Now, ever since I've been part of the debunking community, which is over 5 years now, because that's when I first found Mr. Grey, there's been kickback, there's been complaints, there's been whinging and crying from the let's just tell it like it is, from the fake channels, because they're being called out for their practices, they're being debunked, their techniques are being uncovered in terms of deception, in terms of not just putting for entertainment purposes on the videos, for pretending that it's real. And pretty much every debunker I know, whether they're a skeptic, whether they're a believer, whether they're somewhere in the middle, they start doing the debunking channels because they're angry about the way people are being deceived. So most debunkers start. And so over the past 6 years or so, the debunking community has grown. It starts with Shape and it starts with Crow, Mr. Grey. And then eventually you get Beardo and Seg and Mythos and other debunkers coming in to join the ranks of what we now call the debunking community. And the debunking community has grown, not just with debunkers, but with real investigation channels that have either one or both feet in the door, or collaborating, getting to know the community, getting to know the debunkers. It has grown with different types of channels, interview channels, podcasts, commentary channels like myself, research channels. It is getting bigger and bigger with more and more content, more and more varied content on display. And that's great. And I'm a big advocate that it should get bigger and the content should be more varied. I am encouraging a brand new channel. I see Ghost Cats, who's setting up a channel looking at paranormal books, non-fiction books. It's always nice to see a new addition to the community, something that isn't necessarily being covered very much, if at all. And this community is getting stronger. But let's face it, no one likes being found out. So the fake channels, yes, they're always beating on the doors and complaining and copyright strikes, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. It has got to a point where we need to just stand up and say, no channel is above being under scrutiny. It's not just the fake channels. It's not just the channels with bad practices. It's the good channels. It's the channels who are serious about their investigations. It's the channels who are trying to do everything properly. It's the channels who are doing everything properly. But that doesn't make it all right for those channels not to be put under scrutiny. Nobody should be left out. Now, this vlog has come about because 3 videos pretty much hit in a very short space of time on Monday. One was from Simply Strange. Yes, him again. One was from the Paranormal Files, and one was from Debunk Paranormal. So this vlog is the result of watching 3 videos. So the Paranormal Files released a video showing investigations with both Dawson Toller and the Side-Eye Guy. I will be concentrating on Colin's opening statements for that video. The second video is by Debunk Paranormal. His video is a follow-up to a live stream on Saturday, which I watched the whole thing. He was looking at the Ouija Brothers I Love You video. Now, this is a video well known to the community. It's never really been resolved, including by the Ouija brothers. This isn't a Ouija brothers dig, so, don't bother in the comments. And again, I'm going to focus on his introduction. And the third one, Simply Strange, yes, I'm sorry, but his so-called analysis of the paranormal files video. Now I'm doing this because wires are getting crossed. Chaos is starting to unfold, and we need to focus on what is of the utmost importance, and that is the research into the paranormal. We need to research the paranormal. We need to investigate the paranormal. I am passionate about the field growing and being taken more seriously, and not just on YouTube. The problem is, the more fakers get away with it, the more bad techniques and doing it all for the wrong reasons takes away from the chance of the paranormal research field growing. Very few universities bother offering paranormal courses anymore. Very few. Most of the courses for the paranormal and for parapsychology are online. And the reason for this is because at a university, undergraduate degrees, they pay the rent, they pay the bills for the university. The big money for university comes in research. So it really isn't worth a university's time and effort to put on undergraduate degrees that aren't going to be extended further into research, into PhDs, into papers, into publications. It's not worth the university's time. And so if they're not offering paranormal courses, if they're not offering parapsychology courses, it's because nobody's taking it seriously enough to fund them at a higher level. And it's easy to sit here and say, well, that's nothing to do with us, but it is. We're all part of it. Each and every one of us, even me, waffling into a microphone. I love the paranormal field. I want the research to continue. I want it to grow. I want us to learn from mistakes as well as from what we've gone right. And that can't happen without blanket scrutiny. Nobody should be above being scrutinized. Now, what Colin did was he did a premiere that he introduced, and then he showed a video of a collaboration he'd done with Dawson Toller, and he did a video of a collaboration he'd done with Side-Eye Guy. And I'm concentrating on that opening speech because it was extremely concerning from my point of view. Now, first of all, Dawson, he describes Dawson as a skeptic. Oh, I went investigating with a skeptic and a non-believer. Well, calling Dawson a skeptic, anybody within the community will know, out of all of the investigators connected with the community, Dawson's got, I think, one of the strongest beliefs in the paranormal. He takes his investigation seriously, yes. He's looking for definitive proof, but he believes in the paranormal. He's not a skeptic in the way that Colin was really trying to make out that he was, in my opinion. Seg is a skeptic, and I'll get back to Seg when I cover Simply Strange as well. But very much a skeptic going out with Colin. When he got onto talking about Seg, he wasn't just talking about Seg, he was talking about the debunking community. And I'm sorry, but there was some real vitriol in that. He doesn't like the debunking community. It's absolutely clear just from that short intro. He was talking about them being nasty, picking on people, etc., etc. It was that typical hit that we hear every so often, as if to say the debunkers shouldn't be there. Who do they think they are? Calling people's videos into question. Well, they know exactly who they are. They are people who are safeguarding other people watching the videos thinking that they're real, putting their money into those videos thinking that they're real, donating to channels, buying memberships. And they're doing it because they believe it's real, because the wool is being pulled over their eyes by some channels for the sake of clicks and views. Instead of putting for entertainment purposes only, and one or two have started, but instead of putting for entertainment purposes only, some of them will die on that hill that they are not faking anything, even when it has been conclusively proved that they do. In my opinion, it was very contradictory, because he was calling debunkers out for being nasty about people, for not saying things they should. But that's what he was doing. He was criticizing the individuals rather than what they were doing, as well as what they were doing. So let's move on to Debunk Paranormal for the moment. Now, Debunk Paranormal is becoming more and more known to the community. Extremely good debunker. Very thorough, very technical. He did a live stream on Saturday because he wanted to have a look to see if he could solve, not debunk, that's important. He wanted to see if he could solve the Ouija Brothers I Love You video. And of course, never said anything bad about the Ouija Brothers, never accused them as faking, but of course, you know, the old guard came in. Subs, Ghost on Trent. Oh, but the Ouija Brothers never lie. The Ouija Brothers wouldn't do that. And Debunk Paranormal never said that they did. You just wanted to solve where the voice was coming from. Which is what the Ouija Brothers have tried to do, which is what several people in the community have tried to do. Debunked then put out a video sort of summarising everything, but at the beginning was saying that he lost subscriptions because of that video. He lost subscribers because people don't like the Ouija Brothers being questioned. And, you know, in one way that's fine. You know, if they're fans, they're not going to like them being questioned. But he wasn't questioning the Ouija Brothers. He was trying to solve where the voice had come from. And the Ouija Brothers are a large channel. They're a very successful channel. I would say they're on the periphery of the community. I don't think they're fully involved anyway. They know people within it. And that's fine. They just get on with what they do. They're well over 100,000 subscribers now. They've had a rocky year, but they're just keeping going. You know, that's fine. Doesn't mean the videos can't be analysed. Just because a debunker analyses a video doesn't mean they're sitting there going, well, I'm analysing this video because this channel's fake. No, they're analysing it because something still is being thought about. Something still hasn't been fully explained, and they want to have a go. And this defensiveness and this harshness, and there was some harshness in the comments. By all means, I mean, I would defend the channels I adore, but not because they're being scrutinised. It would be about the way that it was done. There's nothing wrong with the way that Debunk Paranormal did it. And it was a very, very clear example, and I put a comment on Debunk's video, under Debunk's video. It was a very, very clear example that we absolutely cannot have any no-go areas in the paranormal. Everybody, every single person, debunker, investigation channel, research channel, my channel, should be up for scrutiny. Because anything that we get wrong, or anything that we can't explain, even if it's just a mystery, it should be furthered. It should be looked at. The community will grow, both in numbers and in importance, and hopefully eventually back to having more research funded. It will grow when it's done properly. It will grow when there's no channels that are above being looked at. Just for the record, I'm not blaming the Ouija Brothers for this. They didn't go in there. Nobody went in there and said, I'm going to debunk this video because I think the Ouija Brothers are fake. Debunk Paranormal went in there and said, oh, this is still a mystery. I'd like to see if I can solve it. People need to allow different opinions. People need to allow scrutiny. People need to allow openness. Because when I see it within the community, and I've seen it before, seen it this year, when it starts happening in the community, that's not a good sign. It really isn't a good sign, because this community works because people stand together. Simply Strange opened with what initially sounded a very positive comment. Oh, this is amazing. This is what it should be. This is how the paranormal should be. Debunkers collabing with investigators. But he was saying it like it's a new thing. And it's not. Now, it's no secret, I'm not a big fan of Ben. But at the same time, I have no problem with a channel that's not in the community looking into stuff that happens in the community. I actually think that's a good thing. But please get to know the community first. Please look back at the history and know what's going on instead of looking at it through blinkers, because this is not the first collaborations that have happened. The collaborations have been happening for a long time. Seg's done many. Kenny Biddle often goes on investigations. Mr. Gray, Beardo as a debunker and as an investigator. It's not a new thing. And it was almost condescending, because it almost felt like he was saying, and this is just my take on it, but it almost felt like he was saying, oh, it's great that they're doing this. Finally, they're getting the general idea of what should be done. No, always known what should be done. Please pay attention. If you're going to cover the community, pay attention to what's going on. Because you're giving false impressions to what the majority of people in watching Ben's videos, it's fine, will be people who have nothing to do with the community. People who don't even like the community, you can tell a lot of the time. But in terms of all three videos, you had actually three very distinct approaches. You've got Colin, Paranormal Files, who clearly doesn't like debunkers and did very little to hide it. You've got Debunk Paranormal, who is just looking to analyze video, looking to find answers, very impartial. And you've got Simply Strange, and we all know the history of Simply Strange, but somebody who was looking at the outside, from the outside, and misrepresenting what's going on. This, in my opinion, is what needs to happen. And this isn't the first time I've said this. We need to be able to look at everything. It's no good if people are afraid of looking at certain channels because of the kickback. If you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to fear. The reason the fakers don't like the debunking community is they're scared of being found out. Good, honest channels aren't scared, shouldn't be scared of being found out. So don't take offense, any of the channels, if a debunker decides to have a look at what you're doing because something's unexplained. Do you know what? It actually might help, and that happens quite a lot. Is often channels will get one of the debunkers to look at something because they can't explain it, and they actually reach out for help to see if they can actually solve something that's happened on an investigation. That's good practice. That's really good practice. Hiding away and saying, no, you can't look at my stuff, that's wrong. It's offensive. To me, that's a red flag anyway. I'm actually just going to close by reading out what I said on Debunk Paranormal's channel underneath the video I gave out on Saturday. I am going to link all three videos in the description so you can go and look for yourselves, because I've kept this as a very short vlog. I just wanted to get it out there. But this is what I said. I'm a fully fledged member of the debunking community, and I said this in your live stream, but no one is above being scrutinised with regards to investigating the paranormal. Anyone who is legit and doing their utmost to investigate with integrity should not fear being analysed. I am a huge advocate in both researching and investigating the paranormal. The subject of the paranormal can only learn and progress from analysis and reflection. We need that to be allowed to happen without the kickback of people complaining that their favourite channel is being looked at, is being scrutinised. It needs to be done that other channels who don't like the debunking community either stay away, ignore it, a lot of channels do, or if you're going to collaborate, you're expecting respect, show some in return. And if you're going to cover the debunking community, at least be aware of what happens within the debunking community instead of picking up on an event and thinking it's this big new shiny object, because it's not. Collaborations happen all the time between skeptics, between believers, between investigators, researchers, and that's the way the paranormal is taken more seriously, and it'll take a long time. Baby steps, but that's one of the baby steps. Thanks for listening.